Hola! Happy
Hola.
4th! Quattro Day!
Screen
Happy
share.
Independence in
Hi,
a country that
everybody.
is unstable.
Hi, everybody. Yeah,
Hola!
we forgot to screen share before we started, but that's
Oh,
okay.
shoot. Well, hey, we can do it really quick. We can do it. We can do it, folks. Just
We
bear
can
with
do
us.
it.
I don't think anybody's here yet, and everybody's out celebrating their fireworks. Don't blow your hands off.
Yeah, please don't do that.
Stay safe. Fireworks scare the shit out of me. I don't know why people think they can fire them off in their backyard. All right, we're going to share my screen.
And then I'm gonna
Got
take
it, I
it off.
got it, I got it. All right, and there
All
should be
right, and
nothing
then I'm
on
gonna take
there.
it off.
And now we stop sharing.
And now I'm gonna take it off.
And here we are.
There we
There we
go.
are. Hello.
Ta-da!
Hola. Sorry, we weren't set up quite right.
There
Oh,
we go.
Lynn.
All right.
Everybody see Lynn over my shoulder? Watching me like a... Oh, this way. There.
All right. So we are here to do a review.
We're like the last ones in the world, but here's our review of Hamilton. I had drama on Hamilton tonight, but we won't speak of it. But at least we're here, and I got it done, and excited to talk about it.
Mm-hmm.
So first off, we explained on our pre-show. I'm not new to the show. Too new. What's okay? I have not seen the show live on stage. I've seen many different casts on recordings. We are not promoting bootleg recordings, but it's a great way to see the different casts from around the world. And I've seen several casts. I've seen the Chicago cast. I've seen the LA cast. I've seen a couple of touring casts. But neither one of us has seen it live on stage. Dawn is really new to the show. I'm new for about a year on getting into the show. So you guys are getting
and Mel is
a person who grew up in the theater, who lived in live theater and musical theater, finally appreciating the show, and then someone who loves musical theater, new to it, and Melly, who's just being all introduced to this.
Yeah, she's
who likes hip hop music.
She's the true newbie. Yeah,
Melly's like the only one that likes hip hop music, in this sense. So
yeah,
interesting. It's an interesting mix. However, on a whole, what did everybody think?
I loved it.
I did too. Well,
I
loved it. I have some interesting thoughts on a couple things on just the intimacy of it. But
first thing I want to say to everybody because we have yet to say this, happy 4th of July, happy Independence Day, everyone.
Bing bang boom, fireworks.
We hope you're having a great one and enjoying your free
day. The popo detectors. That's what the kids call fireworks.
Yes, please be safe out there. No blowing off any hands.
Please don't blow each other's hands off. In tradition, if you have to shoot fireworks, shoot a firework out of your butt. All right.
Okay.
That's Hamilton. Very, very, yeah. Popo magnets. Those are what fireworks are called. So, back on Hamilton. I don't know if anybody that's in the comments have seen Hamilton yet. But
there we go.
Basically, what this is the actual original Broadway cast doing the original performance on Broadway back in 2016. This is not specially formed to do this. It's not recreated to do this. This was during their Broadway run. And they decided to tape the show 3 nights and edit it together. It's a very high-def, expensive, intimate performance. And I think overall, it was absolutely fantastic. And I was really, really pleased with how much love and care that they put into to the taping. However, I think it lost some stuff in such an intimate space. And it was kind of weird. But the real positive thing that I have been enjoying from it is the things that I never, ever noticed from any of the bootleg recordings or any of the listening to it on audio. Some of the songs make so much more sense in a story context. And like, for example, one thing that was really special that I noticed was King George, Jonathan Groff, being on stage for 20 minutes in Act 2. Just in the shadows and doing comedy and stuff and cutting the crowd up. I had no idea that went on. That was reflected in any of the bootleg recordings. So it's little things like this that this show really captured everything that was going on, and that was the nice that it was able to do the intimacy of that. However, my small cringy, not cringy, but I hate to say it. This intimacy of this type of performance, the real in your face, showed Lynn's performance is not up to standard to the rest of them. And once I noticed it, and once I started thinking about it, it started to bother me a little bit, and I had to get it out of my head. To me, it seemed like it's almost like either Lynn is just not as
he's not a Broadway star,
or Lynn is concentrating on something else, because I think his performance on the
he's not a Broadway star,
and a couple of the Broadway bootlegs that
they
I
only
have
have a musical
was more powerful. Lynn's performance was kind of lost in this recording, and it was weird with him being so central. I don't know if you guys felt that.
Real quick, I want to say hi to everybody. Debbie's here. BRT is here. Class of 2020, welcome back. It's nice to see you. We hope you enjoy our Hamilton review. Kaylee, hi, Kaylee. And I think that's everybody. Okay. Hi, everybody. And you got to put Debbie's last comment up.
Yep. So that's just my nitpick.
Well, you got to remember though, Lynn's only done one other musical, and it was in the Heights. So
this kind of in-your-face intimacy showed that. It showed his level of where he was at compared to, like, with him standing toe-to-toe with Leslie Odom, it was night and day.
Yeah, you could tell.
It just really didn't reflect. Not that his performance was bad. His performance was great.
No.
It was the level of caliber. Now, one thing that I will give this cast, and I've never seen a cast be this just studious and this accurate about, they listen to each other. That every single person on this cast is understanding what the other person is saying and responding appropriately. It's very different in life there when people just memorize their lines and they're just, especially after you've done 300 shows, you're just kind of delivering the lines. Every single word spoken, somebody else was listening to, and you could tell it was a beautiful, beautiful thing to look at. It was a masterclass at looking at it. Standouts for me was Leslie Odom and W. Diggs. I think the two characters that Daveed Diggs did really stole the show, but Leslie Odom's Burr is just absolutely powerful. His Tony was well deserved. Those of you that didn't know, Leslie Odom and Lin-Manuel Miranda were up against each other for the Tony, and Leslie Odom won the Tony over Lin-Manuel, and it was very, very, very well deserved.
Appropriate though.
Yeah, it was absolutely appropriate. I think the best performance, as far as all of the guys and gals that played the dual characters, was Peggy, who played Maria at the end. Mariah, was like night and day. I mean, it was such an amazing transformation that she did. But my biggest thing, like I said, was the picking up things that I never knew existed, or really understanding. What's up, little baby? Really understanding key moments of the show that you can't get from the recording.
Right.
That was really, really cool. Will this hold up after time?
We'll find out.
And will this hurt the stage show when we finally get live theater back? I think this is going to hurt the stage show when we get live theater back. I think that this performance is so well done, and there was so much money and care put into it, and the accessibility to it is so easy now. And anybody can watch it, and I'm sure the real diehard fans of Hamilton have already seen it, 500 times. And we've gone through so much, and live theater is going to be scary to go back to anyway. So it's like, well, do I go back in the midst of coronavirus? Huh?
It's going to be the same way with movies. People are not going to,
But when you have this performance, it's not like there's not a way to see it. You have the greatest performance on tape.
Everybody, Afro Whale is here. Hey, Afro.
What's
hey,
up?
Alfie.
What's up?
Alfie's in the house.
Why risk it, paying a whole shit ton of money to get tickets, when you've got this wonderful performance to look at afterwards? I think it will hurt the overall box office. But I don't think they care. They've really stamped their mark in history. I don't think they need any more money. I don't think they need any more notoriety. Lynn has finally given the gift to everyone. And the show will go on. The show will continue on Broadway and continue West End and continue to tour. But I don't think at the level of it was prior. Now, I do think they got robbed of Oscars. I think they would have gotten Oscars if they released this on the big screen. I really do. I think the performance was so well done. Yeah. So they gave that up.
That's a firework, baby.
I do agree that Leslie Odom stole the show because he was
God.
so good.
That was really
wait
good.
for it. The way they filmed his wait for it, like almost close up during the whole like big, real intimate moments, was just gut wrenching. Leslie knows how to play the camera, and it was very interesting because he gave an interview and he said the only thing that changed in his performance is he made sure that he was very aware that when the camera was focused on him, he was giving the home audience or the viewing audience an intimate facial performance. And so that you can read the interest, that people in the audience couldn't read from his face. And he was making sure. And so you watch this and you see all his, facial expressions and the pain in his eyes. And he's brilliant. He's absolutely brilliant. And he's so funny. He gives a terrible interview. Have you seen him interviewed?
No, I haven't.
It's like he's a really, really deep thinker. And he thinks of these answers that are just like so over the top and complicated and twisted around. And he gets himself all baffled in his own head, and then he's embarrassed to give the answer. So it's this really, really crazy, clumsy interview.
I can relate to that. I can totally relate to that. Public speaking is generally not my forte.
Yep.
He is. I mean, all of them are really close to the show, but watching the whole reunion and them promoting this show, it seems to me that Leslie's one of the few that are like really their heart is like tied to this. It means so much to them to talk about it and to do it. And I mean, you really, in all reality, Burr carries this show. It's really Burr's the star of the show, and it's probably one of the hardest roles to play. And Leslie Odom gave it his all.
Yeah, I liked the. I liked all of the characters that played dual roles, though.
Yeah,
did really well.
Yeah, it's. I think that it's. Well, they do so well vocally because if your first experience to Hamilton is just the cast recording and you're just following along with the lyrics but the character's name, not the actor's name, I didn't know there was dual roles the first time that I heard it. I literally thought that these were different actors playing until I realized I was like, wait a minute, that's Ruby Diggs. Oh shit, they're playing dual roles.
It suddenly kicked in.
It suddenly clicks.
Performances.
Yeah.
I like how the subtleties, because Lynn said when they designed the costumes, everything up from the neck up is the actual is the real life actor, and everything from the neck down is the costume. So they wanted everybody to present themselves as they are in life, right? Whatever their hairstyle is, whatever. That's them. And I do like the way that through the aging of the characters, progressive of the show, such subtle changes in their hairstyle made all the difference. There was no makeup, there's no special effects, there's no nothing crazy. They would just pin their hair up in a certain way that made them look older, or put on glasses and made them look older. The real subtle things that they did, like with the choreography too. That stage is bare, and you're telling this immense, complicated story with literally nothing visual to go on except for the dance movement. And it's really up to interpretation of what these dancers are trying to portray and what the choreographer was trying to do, because it's kind of abstract on a lot of the stuff. Like there's songs where they're in the center of the spinning thing and characters are sitting in 4 chairs just staring at the actor. What's the choreographer's intent behind that? And so it would be a fun show to go through and really learn, all of their staging and stuff, because it's choreographed. It's immaculate. It's absolutely amazing.
And for me, it was good to see the one song that was cut out of the actual cast recording that you don't get on the cast recording that you only get in the show.
Yep.
It puts a lot more context into it.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. The fuck that was left in the show, I thought it was a cop-out, because basically what Lynn did is he didn't leave a fuck in the show.
Oh,
because the one that was left in the show was only that was it.
Yeah, it wasn't the full thing. So technically,
it kind of got edited for Disney Plus in a way, if you think about it that way. The sound effect that they used for the censorship was really bizarre. It was like it was weird. Instead of just going silent for a second, they had a weird.
That's okay. If you guys remember SpongeBob, they used a dolphin squealing for the sound for that. So, hey, why not be different?
Why not?
Now, I wonder, what's sad about this and the piracy that's going to go on with this recording is Disney paid $75 million for this, so they're going to be super freaking stingy with it, and there's not going to be any home release of this. There's not going to be a way you can buy this.
You don't think so? Not eventually.
You're going to have to subscribe to Disney Plus to see it.
Maybe. I don't know.
Oh, I don't think they're going to release it on home video.
I don't know. They make a lot of money off video sales still.
Yeah, but for Disney Plus, for them to buy it for Disney Plus, and if they put it out on disc or put it out on some sort of digital media to go out there, then they're basically just releasing it for free. Nobody has to subscribe to Disney Plus. Because once one copy is out there,
no. I don't. You're right. You're totally right. I don't think they'll do it anytime soon, but I think eventually they will.
I hope so. I hope that people can own a professional printed recording of it. I would like to see the soundtrack of it because they didn't release the soundtrack because it's the same cast, and they're like, well, we already have the original Broadway cast, but the soundtrack is very different. The cast recording that came out,
they released the soundtrack separately.
Yeah, the soundtrack that came out was a year before this was recorded. Their performances, there's significant differences in their performances between this recording and that. And I mean, you could always strip the soundtrack, but that's good.
Very true.
How repeat viewing do you feel this is for you, Don?
Huh?
How do you feel this is going to be on repeat viewing? How do you feel this is going to age?
I think it'll do pretty well. I mean, I've already so far since it came out, I've already watched it 3 times.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think it's one of those that's just going to keep getting better every time you watch it.
I found myself thinking, because I've been trying to watch it. Of course, I got a lot on my mind, a lot of stuff going on. But I tried to watch it and think about what I was viewing, and I found myself in the same certain parts, that I get distracted easily and I go about doing something else. But it was always on, so I found myself, my love for this musical is about the music. I don't need the visuals with it, so I can have this on all the time and just hear it.
Well, and I think because it's a musical. Once you've seen it once, and then you hear the soundtrack, like you said, you could be doing something else. You know what's happening.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Because the whole point is that everything is done to music.
Right.
Yeah. Yep. The music
and I listen to the soundtrack in the background all day long anyway. So
it's a great soundtrack. It's phenomenal.
Oh, it's amazing. It really is. I mean, one thing you have to give Lin-Manuel. I don't care if you're a fan of Lin-Manuel or not. He's a master of language. I mean, he's absolutely a genius with the spoken word, and to be able to convey what he's trying to say in all these different forms of music. Because remember, he's done, like Pacific Island music through like Moana. He's done
he did the Moana
music with the Little Mermaid score. He's done City what In the Heights. And all these different genres of music that he's done, it all is about the same thing. It's about the dialogue. It's about the words that he's getting out there, and he's just a genius.
And you know what it is? Lin-Manuel Miranda is a lyricist. Plain and simple.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he also did Mary Poppins Returns.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, he didn't write anything for that, I don't think, though. He only
just performed.
He wrote for it as well.
Oh, did he?
I did some research.
It's funny to listen to Lin talk in his interviews and stuff. It's really funny to hear his process because he doesn't have a disciplined process. He's really like, things will just kind of come and form, and he'll work with it. And he says some songs in this show took years to form. That it just kind of wasn't coming together until it came together. And he never pushes it. He never fights it. And that's part of the genius, is he never tries to force anything out of himself.
We see it time and time again when they force it, or when they're forced to push something out quickly. We don't get as good of the quality. The quality is definitely not there, and we don't. It's forgettable. It's not memorable. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He said in an interview it took him a year just to write My Shot.
Yeah.
I believe it. Totally believe it.
Yep. Yeah, this musical. People don't think about how these musicals are created, and it's not like somebody writes a script and they stage it and all of a sudden it's on Broadway. Some of these shows go through years, if not decades, in workshops, in small community theaters.
Sometimes you're sitting on a shelf,
doing free previews to the public to get any journalists to come in and look at this stuff, and it takes a long time for somebody to say this will work, and then they got to start funding for it.
And this one took him 7 years. 7 years to write.
And that's after winning a Tony for In the Heights. He was a Tony Award winner, and this one still took so long to get on Broadway. It's not a given. You're not given a golden gift to go on Broadway just because. Like Andrew Lloyd Webber has had failures on Broadway.
It's very hard actually to get on Broadway.
The guys that wrote Les Miserables and Miss Saigon, their show Martin Gere never made it on Broadway. They never got a Broadway run. So it's like just because you're one of the greats doesn't mean you get on there.
Right.
It takes a lot of time. So he said the movie was amazing. What he said, I watched it twice now. Did a rebuild of my favorite Gear while I was in the background. It was very cool. It is one of the most perfect soundtracks to have in the background. Yeah. It really is. Certain songs just get you going. The lyrics on it can just get you thinking, or you can fade away. It's great.
It hits you in the feels either way.
Yeah.
Speaking of feels, I connected with the ending for the first time the other day. And it was weird because I know this musical really, really well now. And I never really made, and this was before the film dropped, I never really made like the definitive connection to it with all the emotions and the tearing up and everything. I don't know why. I don't know why there was a disconnect, but I had seen a bootleg recording of the duel itself. And I was like watching it and I got mesmerized by it. I was like, what? I was like, this is not on the soundtrack. I was like, I've never seen this before. What? So I go to the book, I go to the cast recording. It is. So I like sit there and I listen to it and I was like, holy shit. By the time they were done with the final number, I'm sitting there crying for the first time after hundreds of times listening to this. So you never know with musicals and stuff like this when something will finally connect. And there are numbers that I didn't really get until I saw it visually presented on stage. Like the whole thing with when General Lee was basically ran chicken shit in the battle, and they were trying to Hamilton wanted to take the lead, and Washington wouldn't let him. They put Lee in charge, and Lee kind of fucked it all up. Yep. And then I didn't ever put together the duel that happens right after that first duel in the musical, and it was all because Lee was bad-mouthing Hamilton, trying to put the blame on Hamilton for how bad everything went in the war. And then that's when the duel. I didn't make any in that connection until I saw it visually. So that was a good thing to see the whole thing visually play out. And like I said, Jonathan Groff on stage.
The end of the soundtrack makes a lot more sense when you actually see the ending on stage.
When you see, like you said, the visual.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That ending, the way they do the duels.
For me, when you listen to the soundtrack and it just ends, you're just like, wait, that's it? That's all I get? No more? You know?
The way they do the duels on stage is so powerful in such an abstract way with carrying the bullet. It was really neat. But what do you guys think? Maybe not like it. There's a lot of backlash going on right now. It's typical American. Everybody likes something, so then there's got to be a little group that comes to hate it, and they say they hate it, and everyone watch it.
You can't please everybody all the time.
I know. It looks like everybody here liked it.
Good. I imagine if you're watching Hamilton, it's something you're interested in. It's such a niche thing that you either got to know about it or be with somebody that really wants to watch it. Because if you absolutely can't stand Broadway musicals or something like that,
I love musicals. They're my favorite.
But for these people that are going around and they're saying, "Oh, I watched it and I can't believe what all the fuss is about and it absolutely sucked," and blah blah blah, it's like you're just on a bandwagon to do that, you know. Like I have my criticisms of it, but it's phenomenal. It is what it is. It's absolutely phenomenal. See, I'm not like bending over backwards with everybody else and just falling in line saying, Hamilton. Like I'm not a In the Heights fan. I mean, I'm
not either,
and I'm not a huge fan. That's another.
But now you understand why the hype. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I understand.
I've tried to get into In the Heights and I just can't.
Yeah.
Something about it that just doesn't sit well. It's just like, no, this one just doesn't work.
Afro Will said loved it. When visiting my son in New York, I went and saw Wicked.
Yay! It's one of my favorites.
That's a good one. I haven't seen that one on stage.
Wicked's great. But you know what's fun to go to? Side note, Blue Man Group. If nobody's ever been, go check it out.
Let me tell you a story about Blue Man Group. Oh, Lord.
No, we digress.
We digress. We're not going to do that.
No, it's funny, though. It's funny. It's a good 4th of July video. The first time I saw Blue Man Group was in Vegas, and I was drunk. drunk. I mean, like seeing stars drunk. And that Captain Crunch started going and everything. I had to get out of there. I was freaking out. I was like, what the fuck am I watching?
You didn't
Oh my
make
God.
it to the end?
No, we had to leave. I freaked out. It was crazy.
The end is the best part. That's funny. You got to go back sometime.
Yeah. But Wicked is one of my all-time
Sober.
favorites. My favorite song is No Good Deed, a Broadway song of all time. On my phone, I have a file that is just nothing but different actresses singing No Good Deed for 30-something times on my phone.
Wow.
Yeah, I love that song. Wicked is supposed to be a movie.
That about wraps it up.
Yeah, Wicked's supposed to be a movie next year. They haven't even cast for it, though. What'd she say? My youngest daughter is obsessed with everything Broadway. She was a major theater kid. Yay! After high school, she went to work in performance in Disney University inside Disney World. Wow, derailed. Well, no, ask your daughter, are Disney performers, are they getting any type of not SAG, but any type of the union credits, for like theater or Screen Actors Guild? They're doing like video presentation. I wonder if they're union
Afro likes your hat, Mike.
Huh?
Afro said they like your hat. Nice hat.
Oh, thank you.
It's your Hamilton hat.
No, it's my Wicked hat.
That's funny that you were able to pick that out. Oh, Wicked.
I was
thought
wearing
you had
Julie's
Hamilton
hat.
on.
The night of the show, I was wearing Julie's hat that we bought in New York when we were there for Hamilton. It's a weird hat.
It's like, oh, jealous. I don't have a Hamilton hat.
Well, she told that story about how I had Lynn's box seats, and I
I know. Yeah, that was actually pretty good.
Oh, how I regret it.
We have someone new. Chi-Chi.
What's up, Chi-Chi?
When Eliza says it's quiet uptown, it hits different when seeing the visuals.
Yep. It does.
It does.
A lot of the Eliza stuff hits
so
different.
Right.
Seeing the videos. I found the Schuyler sisters very not the song Schuyler sisters, but the Schuyler sisters in general. A lot of their interactions portrays very differently when you see it visually.
Yeah.
Oh God, especially Angelica's hatred to him when she comes at the end.
Oh, I know when she comes back.
God.
You don't get it in the soundtrack, but boy, do you get it on stage.
Oh yeah, that look she gives him that she's here for Eliza, not for her. Oh. What else?
I think that's about it. That about wraps it up. I mean, overall, I think what we're trying to say is that it's an amazing musical. If you haven't seen it, please take the opportunity to. And if you haven't listened to the soundtrack, please do.
Yes, you don't have to watch this movie. You can listen to the soundtrack. You can watch a YouTube video presentation. It's this show is about the lyrics. It's about the music.
I was going to say, I actually highly recommend that somebody listen to the soundtrack before seeing it and then see it, because it'll make the music make sense, but it'll mean so much more.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, that was my first experience with it. I sat with headphones on with the lyrics in front of me, and I just listened to the show.
Yep.
And it tells the full story. You have no problems.
Nope.
It's amazing. Whereas some musicals don't. You're like, what the hell's going on?
Yeah.
Like, what are we? Yeah.
Oh, Wand of the Day.
Wand of the Day.
So we are on number 3 of the final 4 that are different between each other. And this is the oak wand. It's one of the snakes. We've seen the snake 100 times before. But again, it's the wiggle waggle.
Wiggle waggle.
I love that
that's what you dubbed it, the wiggle waggle.
The wiggle waggle, yeah. So they changed it to this one. This is the new one of the oak, which is another very different one. So we went from this really cool snake slithering wiggle waggle to this.
That's it?
Wow. That's it.
It's very bland.
Very bland.
Just a stick. It's actually a really good wand to hold, though. So we got one more in this series, and then we'll have to do another series afterwards. One more.
Let's see.
Special coming up for the one hall, I hope.
Chi-Chi said, so many beautiful moments. Olive Byrne was brilliant. The contained rage, betrayal, hurt. Yes.
The problem with Byrne is so powerful on stage, especially like with something like Philippa or Rachel Ango performing it. I like First Byrne better, though. That music video that they put out, that version of that song. Oh my God, that's if you've not seen it, First Byrne is a musical
that's my husband. I'm sorry if you guys can't.
They put out. First Byrne is a bunch of the different Elizas through the different companies, all singing Byrne together, and it's really good. Oh, it's really, really good.
Well, guys,
Available
with that
on
being
iTunes.
said, we have brought you our Hamilton review and reaction, and we hope that it has given you some insight into Hamilton.
Never
We love
gonna
you.
be president now. Never
We
gonna
love
be
you for being
president
here.
now.
Love is love is love. Good night, everybody.
Right, everybody.
Rise up. Rise up.